Wow. That was definitely an event because obviously the two people I picked for this, Leon and Jan, lost. And it hurts, being wrong. But let's obviously start with uh, let's start with like the good parts. There were really not a good parts. I mean, Goram pretty much having both Taporias and Kamza in his corner and still getting destroyed by Fernandez is crazy. I thought Fletcher won this. This was honestly not that bad. Puja had a good head kick, but Bannon bounced back. Boring. Um, this is a robbery. Mick Parkin won that, but I don't know. He's a free agent now. I don't know if they'll re-sign him, but if they do, I don't. I hope they don't, just because there's just not many middle heavyweights anyways. So just what it is. Kavanaugh had a good win. This was a very close fight, but I thought Padilla did enough to win. This was good. I mean, definitely I was surprised. I had Sherrier in my parlay, but Wood came out there and he put up on a performance. He was just faster than Sherrier, and I thought it was a good fight. This was a good fight too. I don't know, Vucanic. There's a lot of hype behind him, but I think Chris Duncan's definitely got some potential, man. And Tainara's submission win over Molly McCann, and also Molly retiring. I could care less, to be honest. But Tainara had a good win. Kevin Holland, bounce back win. Very good win against Gunnar Nelson. He was coming off huge layoff, but I thought it was still a very dominant win from Kevin Holland. He outstruck him by a lot, actually. If you look at the strikes here, yeah, it's like more than 100 more than him. Really good performance by Kevin Holland. Dropped him by the end of the first round. I thought that was really good. This was a close fight. A lot of people were expecting a finish. And I was thinking, Jan might get a finish, but I was thinking it was going to be a decision. But Ulberg got the decision. And this was a close fight. I had a 2-1 Jan. But it was so close that it could have gone either way. Each of the rounds, they both did good in this fight. But I thought Carl Ulberg was just more active in the first round. So, yeah. Next, let's go to Leon Edwards and Sean Brady. I wonder why I'm so tired. It's because I got a lab report due tonight, and I really don't want to do it. This was a really good performance with Sean Brady. I mean, we were expecting a really good version of Leon, but I was saying Leon would win this just because, I felt like his striking could have definitely. I thought Leon Edwards would put on the gas pedal. I thought he would put his foot on the gas and actually initiate some exchanges and put the pressure on Brady, because Brady's been weak to that. But the opposite happened. Brady put the pressure on Leon. He was the one pressing. He was the one exchanging. He was the one shooting the takedowns. That second round honestly could have been a 10-8 because Leon didn't do anything and Brady was just dominating him all the round. It was absolute domination. And then third round, same thing. I think Leon shooting that takedown kind of did sell it for him. And in the fourth round, it just seemed like Leon was just not there. He was just kind of tired. And Sean Brady was able to get that submission. I mean, 221-23. I mean, it's just crazy, man. There was a lot of ground and pound. There was a lot of domination. I mean, if you look at round 2, it's like he had 0 strikes. 0. You can look at round 3, round 4. It's like most of the strikes came from the first round. I thought Sean Brady won all the rounds. In round 4, he got a submission. It was just a clear, utter domination. I mean, this is a new Sean Brady. And this was Sean Brady on short notice, but it seemed like. And one thing about Sean Brady is he keeps himself pretty in shape. He's always in shape. I felt like he was waiting for an opportunity like this since the Gilbert Burns fight. He was ready, regardless if he was short notice or not. And I feel like Leon's just kind of lost that heart. What made him so good in the first place? His ability to bounce back and put on the pressure. I think he's kind of lost that. He's kind of been complacent, not really refining so many aspects of his fighting style, and you can clearly see that in this fight. But this isn't to take away from Sean Brady. Sean Brady put on a whole different level this fight. He was a whole different fighter. I mean, his performance against Gilbert Burns was really good. And, a lot of people were discounting that because Gilbert Burns is washed. But Gilbert Burns is still pretty talented. And, I mean, I think Sean Brady definitely proven himself to be title worthy. You know what? I think Sean Brady deserves this title shot. I think he does, over Shavkat. JDM's fighting. Shavkat, he's getting a title shot after pretty much only fighting. He's going to get a title shot later this year. Probably around December. And I don't think that's fair. We have Sean Brady here dominating a former champion, a guy who went 3-2 with Bilal Muhammad. I mean, not 3-2, but he still won 2 rounds against Bilal Muhammad. Sean Brady did him worse than what Bilal Muhammad did to Leon. And this was a stronger, more acclimated version of Leon. People are going to probably bring up the staph infection. And it could definitely had an effect, but I just felt like it was so much of a domination. I don't feel like staph would have really made that much of a difference, Maybe it would have definitely affected the way he was getting up, He gave a lot of control time to Sean Brady, and I think his lack of urgency was why he just wouldn't get up for a whole round. For a whole round in round 2, he just wouldn't get up. Same with round 3. It's like he had so many opportunities to get up, reverse position, to use his explosiveness to, get back on the feet, and he just didn't do it. Leon just did not do it. He had no sense of urgency in that fight, and Sean Brady was just pouring it on him. He was taking the fight to Leon, and I think Leon just does really bad when someone puts a pressure on him. He needs that distance. He needs that whole space to work. And Sean Brady didn't. He had a good game plan going into this fight. Shooting those takedowns, applying the pressure, using the boxing. Same thing Bilal Muhammad did. And I feel like Bilal Muhammad and Sean Brady are very, stylistically similar. But I feel like Sean Brady's a much better finisher than Bilal Muhammad. I mean, he finished Leon Edwards. I don't think anyone has been able to do that for years. For almost a decade, no one's been able to finish Leon until Sean Brady. And I think Sean Brady is a huge threat to this division, and I think he deserves his title shot next. He called out. I mean, there's definitely other contenders who definitely deserve it. I think Sean Brady does need one more win. If they don't want to give him the title shot, at least have him fight maybe Shavkat or Buckley. Have him do that. If not, I think Sean Brady should leapfrog Shavkat for the title shot. I think he's definitely proven it. And I'm kind of tired of the Shavkat hype. And although, don't call me a switch up for this type of stuff, I was saying before Shavkat, has a good chance of Bilal, and he definitely still does. I feel like that Ian Gary performance, he was injured for that fight, you got to remember. But we got to also realize, Shavkat hasn't done enough still. He's beat number 7. He beat Stephen Wonderboy, Jeff Neal, and Neil Magny. And those were his last 4 wins. And he's not really beating anyone currently in the top 5. And he's also the number 2 contender. But Sean Brady should be the number 1 contender in a few days. So I think right now, Sean Brady deserves this title shot. He's definitely put in the work for it. And his only loss is to Bilal Muhammad, and I think it's the rematch we should see, So, in my opinion, I think this version of Sean Brady has a way better chance of beating Bilal Muhammad. I think he could. We saw so many improvements in his striking. Even when Leon was putting the pace, he was still doing well. And he would not let Leon have a break. And I feel like if he does that to Bilal Muhammad, I think Bilal Muhammad will lose. And Sean Brady's a really good finisher. I mean, Bilal Muhammad, with all his might, couldn't even submit Leon. And Leon was able to get back up and pretty much bloody him with elbows. But Sean Brady didn't give Leon any chance. The Sean Brady control over Leon was so much more effective than Bilal's. I have to say that. Sean Brady's performance against this Leon So much better than Bilal Muhammad's performance. And it would make no sense if Sean Brady didn't get the title shot over Shavkat. It would make no sense. Shavkat hasn't done enough. And if not, they should fight for it. But I think if they do want Sean Brady to be in a title eliminator, if you are still going to give the title shot to Shavkat, maybe Sean Brady should fight someone like Joaquin Buckley for a title eliminator. I feel like that would be a good fight. And in that case, that can really solidify who can be the, get the next title shot. But if I were matchmaker, I'd give Sean Brady the title shot. Makes sense. He will be the number one contender. He dominated a former champ, a guy Bilal Muhammad went 3-2 with. I mean, it makes sense. It just makes sense. Anyways, it's all. I'm a big Leon fan, but, Sean Brady's repping for the USA. I like to support my American athletes, but it was a good fight. It was a good fight. Good fight night. I don't know why people call Sean Brady boring. I didn't think any part of that wrestling was boring. He was putting the ground pound. He wasn't just holding him. He was demolishing him on the ground. And he has finishing ability. He finished Leon, which no one has been able to do. So, in the UFC. So, I think that's pretty impressive. So, I'm going to end the video there. Bye.